Well, we're continuing to track just about wall-to-wall sunshine as we get you into this afternoon. A live look out at Pre-Owned of Columbia kind of illustrates the point of a lot of sunshine here that we've been tracking throughout this morning, and it looks like right on into this afternoon. Temperatures starting to nudge closer to 60 degrees. We'll add on a few more as we get into the next couple of hours. But again, it's going to be a little bit of a warming trend that we're tracking not only this afternoon, but going forward into the next couple of days here across mid-Missouri. Temperatures, again, going to be topping out in those upper 60s this afternoon. Tonight, though, with those winds out of the south, they actually help keep these numbers kind of propped up right around 50 degrees for overnight lows. And that gets us off to a much better start tomorrow morning. We're not going to be looking at any of these frosty conditions that we were this morning. Temperatures back into those upper 70s. And speaking of those winds aloft, again, winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere, that's what calls the shots here across mid-Missouri. And there's really not a whole lot to write home about. There's not a huge weather maker working its way across mid-Missouri until you notice that. That's working its way on shore here as we get into about Thursday and Friday later on this week. That's going to be what's now Tropical Storm Delta down in the Gulf Coast here, in the Gulf of Mexico eventually, once this gets out of the Caribbean here. It's going to work its way off toward the west right now, west about 7 miles an hour, 45 mile an hour sustained winds at the latest look. That was back at 10 o'clock. We're expecting another update here within about the next hour or so. This is the latest track, though, from the National Hurricane Center. And again, you notice it's starting to become a strong Category 2 hurricane before it makes that eastward bend into the coast, maybe of Louisiana, somewhere along the Gulf Coast. Again, there is still a wide gap in exactly where this thing's going to be making landfall. A lot of things we still got to work on kind of figuring out detail-wise. But one thing we do know is there may be something helping us out here. As we get closer toward making landfall, those temperatures starting to cool off a little bit, and that'll actually hold the intensity back just a little bit more as we get into the next couple of days or later on into this week. And reason for that, again, that cold front that we were tracking last week typically made its way all the way down to New Orleans. They're about 80 degrees or so. That's their average temperature this time of year. They were pretty well below that. And again, you kind of think back to last week, that's what we were dealing with as well. That was that cold air mass that's kind of sank south, and it's kind of cooled off some of those waters in the Gulf Coast. Hopefully that continues to kind of hold back the intensity a little bit, but we'll continue to track that. This looks like a week-long thing that we're going to be looking at here with Tropical Storm Delta. Rainfall amounts, this is where it may be impacting us into mid-Missouri. If this thing jogs a little bit further to the west and makes landfall maybe in western Louisiana, that's where we could be seeing the door open up just a little bit more. As of right now, though, really not expecting anything more than some cloud cover across Saturday and Sunday if we see any impacts at all. Back here, live shot out at the University of Missouri. No clouds to speak of today. So get used to that sunshine over the next couple of days all the way through this work week. Temperatures, though, going to start to come back, get back above normal, actually, as we get into the 70s and 80s here throughout the rest of this work week.